When VEVOR reached out to us and offered us a bushing extractor kit, I thought to myself, is it something I really need? But decided to give it a go. Once it arrived, I thought, God, I wish I'd had this for a few years. I can think of so many circumstances where this tool would have made my life so much easier. So, what is a bushing extractor kit and why am I so enthusiastic about it? It weighs a ton, so bang for buck, you get a lot for your money. The first thing I see are 2 hooks. And I'll be honest, I haven't actually quite worked out what they're for at the moment, but I'm sure when I do, they will come in handy. So what do you get? Well, at first sight you think, well, I've got some threaded rods and I've got some fairly hefty tubes and I've got some various diameter pieces that can press against the side of bushings or bearings, and there's lots and lots of different sizes that you can work this to. So the threaded rods are a little bit more than first meets the eye. They are very, very substantial. This is the 10mm one. You can see it's not just a standard thread, they're actually the square type of thread that's used for transmitting power. You see them a lot on lathes, and where your nut goes on the end isn't quite just as simple as just a nut going on. It actually has a set of bearings so that when this part is bearing down on something, you can still turn the nut without the actual part of the tool that's pressing in having to twist with it, which is really, really a good idea. They're very substantial. That's the 10mm, and you've got a 10, a 12, 14 and a 16. Now that is hefty. When you come to use this tool, the first thing to do is to actually find a tube that's the right size to fit against the bushing that you're going to press in or press out. So it wants to fit around the outer edge of the bushing. And then you find another tube that will go on the opposite side of wherever the bushing's going in, but is big enough to actually get onto the metal, yeah? So that the bushing itself, if you're pushing it out, will go into the middle, or whether it's pushing it out or it's not, it's actually got some room to just play when you get to it. So you want this to be wider so it's actually onto the actual surface of the thing that you're pulling against. I'd always recommend you use the biggest bar you can, because it's going to take more effort, before it starts to cause any issues. Why use the 10mm one if the 12mm like this will do, or the 14mm or the 16mm? And then you find the adapter that the actual tubes fit on. Start with the side, and as you can see, this tool slots lovely into that adapter. You'd put that through wherever the bushing's going, the bushing on, then the other tube with the right adapter for that so that it's not wobbling about, and then put your nut on and then get on with the screwing, so to speak. I find these tubes really useful, and what I've done is I've used them when I'm driving other bearings in, so that you've got one of the right size to go against the outer ring of the bearing so that you can tap it in. And the number of different sizes that you get, here's the actual chart that shows what there is in this particular kit, means you've virtually got something that will fit anything. Here's me putting in some bearings on a Triumph Bonneville. As you can see, I've chosen a tube that fits onto the inside of the race, but actually will fit inside as well, so that as it pushes it in, it doesn't get stuck. When you're doing this frequently using the old bearing, you've then got to find a way of getting the old bearing out. So I'm going to put a bit of grease on this and then I'll put it all together. It's going to sit there. This comes up through the middle. And the ridges on this mean it doesn't waggle about as much as you might think. That's going to sit on the top there. And then screw down the top nut. So let's get that one, get it all lined up, and then should just be able to pull it all together. So you make sure it's nice and square. So making sure it's all nicely lined up and nicely square, and the fact you're using this means that it will pull it square, and the ball bearings here mean that when you're screwing this one, it won't make that one to twist, it'll just put the pressure where it needs to be. Do it up tight, slacken it back off. And the wonderful thing is you haven't got the other bearing stuck in there. And now I've got it in all the way, I'll just give it a little bit more grease on here before I actually put the final bearing in. Oh, and that's nicely home as well. You may think all of the tubes are going to be too big, especially if you're doing something smaller, but you've probably already got a set of tubes in a set of sockets that you'd have used anyway, and it's very easy with the 10mm to fit a socket on and to fit the adapter so that it presses onto the socket correctly. So for putting in smaller bearings and bushes, it's a fantastic tool. It's been a bit of a whistle-stop tour of this particular set of tools, but I'm sure you're already thinking of lots of places where you would have used this or you could use it. Certainly the number of times I've been looking something to drive in a seal or drive in a bearing, and this set of tubes would really have come in handy. The threaded rods, the fact that they've actually got that special thread means that unlike what you had in the past where you're nailing them up and such like, these will work really, really well for a long time into the future. I'm thrilled with this, and I know I'm going to use it a lot over the coming years, to be honest. It's a solidly built kit, and I'm sure it will, save me hours in the future. So I would recommend you had one of these in your toolkit. There is a link in the description so you could get your own set of these. Thanks for watching, and why not subscribe so that you can watch some of the places where I'll be using these in the future.